Are you ready for the 2023 fantasy baseball season? If not, we're here to make sure you are with Mock Draft Mondays on today's action-packed episode of Locked On Fantasy Baseball.
You are Locked On Fantasy Baseball, your daily fantasy baseball podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, fantasy baseball fanatics, and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Baseball podcast, brought to you by the Locked On Sports Network, your team every day. As always, we're your number one source for fantasy baseball knowledge. Thank you for making us your first listen each and every day. I'm your host, Dominic Martino, here as always with my co-host, Matthew Ane.
Yo, yo.
You can find us on all social media platforms and podcasting apps. Just search for Locked On Fantasy Baseball, and we'll be there. Please like, subscribe, and comment, especially on YouTube, because we love to talk fantasy baseball with you. And on today's episode, we are starting a tradition here. You know, we gave you a little tease of it last week, but today's the official first week of Mock Draft Mondays. We will be here with you guys for the next 5 weeks doing Mock Draft Monday and making sure you are prepared for your upcoming fantasy baseball drafts. And as we get closer to March, there will be a lot more information out there, and we are going to show you guys some of the techniques that Matt and I are using to build the best fantasy baseball team that we can. And we're here to, make sure you guys are ready.
Yes, sir. One thing that we find very beneficial for this is that you're going to see what our mindsets are. We're going to break down every pick. And today, Dom and I, instead of being on opposing teams, we're going to be on the same team. We're going to give you a little bit more insight of what our thought process are, debating, who we should pick in the moment. And we'll actually break down why we think this and that. And it'll be a lot smoother than last week with just having a time clock. We're going to be doing this on Draft Wizards. I'm going to share my screen in just a second. So here we go with that. Oh, sorry. I booted Dom out of the chat. There we go.
Yeah, I was going to say, Matt, am I not participating? You taking over?
We all know who's going to have the better team at the end of the day. But
Fair enough.
But, so we're going to do a 12-team snake draft. We're going to be drafting out of the 6th spot. We're going to have a catcher, first base, second base, short, third, 3 outfield, 2 starting pitcher spots, 2 relief spots, 5 pitching spots, and 6 benches. So with that being said, I think we should get started. And
yes, sir.
Where's the start button? There we go.
All right, here we go, guys. The 6th spot was something that we chose because, we're right smack dab in the middle, and it isn't always the easiest to draft from the 6th hole. So we want to make sure if that's where you're drafting, you are, prepped and ready to go.
Yes, sir. So right off the bat, if you guys didn't see, it was Judge, Turner, Ohtani, Acuna, Jose Ramirez. Now that wouldn't have been the way I would have went the route with the first couple picks. Like Judge wouldn't have been a first couple picks there. It probably would have been either Julio or Tucker for me, but that's just me. But also too, if you guys are ever on doing a draft simulator here, I always tend to just go away from what they suggest, because there's no reason for that. And you kind of look at your own thing. You hit cheat sheets right here, and you can go down the route and just actually look at all the players and the positions, right? So, Dom, who do you think we should go with first here?
Well, I will chime in and I say I think Aaron Judge is a pretty safe number 1 overall pick. If you guys want the safety and the consistency of just somebody. He may not be a 5.2 guy, but he's at least a 4.5. He'll still chip in some steals as well. So Judge is definitely, I think, worthy of that pick. But Matt, I always go Julio. I feel like me and Julio have this special bond going because I didn't even think he'd be there at 6, but apparently, Draft Wizard wants to throw him our way. That's who I would go with, but I'd love to hear what you're thinking as well, brother.
Julio's on my list. It's really just between him and Tucker, in all honesty. Tucker here, what he did last year was really nice, and I don't even think it was fully highlighted of, the fact that he was almost a 30-30 guy, and with the addition of Jose Abreu on that team, I think that it's just going to be a little bit better. I also think that the batting average is going to come up. I think he just had a little bit of a down year for that. So that would be my only other pick. But if you want to roll with Julio, I'll give it to you this round. And we see what that looks like building with Julio.
I'll say this. I mean, we could go Tucker, but I don't even think he'd be my number 6. But we could explore that route if you want to go that way. I mean, I think we've shown a little bit of the Julio side of things when, I took him in the last mock draft. So I guess if you want to see a Julio built team, go check out the last mock draft, and we'll do something different here. If you want to take Tucker first, we could take Tucker.
That sounds good to me. Now, just add a question: who would be the pick for you if it wasn't Julio and it wasn't Tucker?
That's where we get a little bit tough here. I do like Vladdy, even though he doesn't steal. So I might lean towards Vlad, and then with my second pick, try and get somebody that's going to steal a decent amount of bases. Because you want to supplement the base stealing that you're not going to get with Vlad with somebody else. But you could even wait, because I think the uptick in steals is coming this year, and you're going to see a lot of guys go from maybe like 20 steals to 30, 35 steals. I think stolen bases, are going to be up around the league with bigger bases. That's my my take there on that.
I could see that. I can't see Vlad with his big belly, sliding.
Hey, he's trimmed down a little bit over the last couple of years. He's trimmed down a little bit.
I know, but we're about the same height and the same body shape, and I ain't playing professional baseball for a reason outside the fact I don't have talent.
I hear you.
But all right, so let's get moving here. So right after Kyle Tucker, there goes Julio Rodriguez. Then was Vladimir Guerrero Jr., just so everybody doesn't know, that's what we call him. Juan Soto, Mookie Betts, Yordan Alvarez, Mike Trout, Fernando Tatis. I love that pick there. You guys always hear how I love picking Tatis at the turn. Freddie Freeman, Corbin Burns, Garrett Cole, Jacob deGrom, Sandy Alcantara, and then we're on the clock. So let's hit this cheat sheet.
Yeah, Draft Wizard is always so chalky, but it's like sometimes it's good to be chalky in the sense of, if you don't know what chalk means, it just means like basically just rolling off the consensus, taking the guys who are the next best available player. You don't always see that with when you have other people drafting, they like to go for guys that they personally like. So I don't know, Matt, what are you feeling here? Who are you looking at here?
So with arms being so deep, and if we're just taking a look at what's left on the starting pitcher role right here, they've only been 5 pitchers left, which tells me that, hey, like, I don't need to go and snag. There's plenty of big arms. I think we go another bat. How do you feel about that?
Definitely. What I've been saying so far this, off season is that I like to personally go 3 bats before I take an arm. And I've been doing it in every mock draft I've done. I've done one real draft so far, and I did that, and my team turned out pretty well. So I would definitely be looking at a bat here as well. Third base is something that's, pretty thin. I like Machado. I like Bobby Witt. First base is also thin. Alonso's there. Goldie's there. And then even Austin Riley. Austin Riley is a great pick too. I've been taking him in a lot of my drafts, but I've been getting him in the 3rd round, which I don't think is going to happen at, closer we get to draft season. I think everyone's going to get on Austin Riley. He's going to move into that 2nd round. So Matt, with that being said, is there somebody specific that you want to take here, brother?
I mean, you were reading my mind with that 3rd base. So if you want to hit that route, we can do that.
Yes, you know what? I mean, we could always take your boy. I'm sure that's who you're staring down. You could always go Bobby Witt. I think he's a great 2nd round pick. I'm hoping that he does move into that 2nd round. I know earlier in the offseason, a lot of people were taking him in the 1st, especially on Fantrax, for the upside. But I think we could take Bobby here.
I like the Bobby pick. I'm also was thinking Machado too, because we already just picked up a steals guy in Tucker.
Yeah.
And Machado has the 40 home run upside, whereas Bobby's probably going to be like a 30-30 dude where we can have that little edge and power. But
yeah, and then Machado's a little safer at batting average too. So yeah, let's take Manny here. Let's go Manny Machado.
Bet. There we go.
Yeah, Manny did hit 296 last year, guys. So, Bobby is a little bit questionable on the batting average side. And I believe I do have Manny in my top 3 at 3rd base. I'm just going to double check that as I pull up my rankings here. But Matt, while I'm doing that, do you want to read off who went after our pick?
Absolutely. So right after Machado, Bobby Witt went again. Bo Bichette, that guy loves our picks. He went literally Julio. And all right, so Bobby Witt, Bo Bichette, Max Scherzer, love that. Pete Alonso, Rafael Devers, Goldschmidt, Austin Riley. Like you said, we weren't going to get him if we tried to play the game.
Yeah, you're not going to win that one.
Aaron Nola, Edwin Diaz, which is way too high for me in terms of closers, and Marcus Semien. So here's where we're at right now, right? So now if we look here, we got to look this is where I always use, I start crossing off my names off the thing and look at how many players of a certain position we're taking so that I know, hey, we're on the ball before we have to grab it, right? So again, I'm always keeping my eyes on pitching because we haven't grabbed one yet. There's only been about 7 of the top 10, and I mean, they don't have Scherzer in the top 10. He's my 6, and I'm sure he's in your top 10 as well.
Yeah.
So based off of that, like I don't have Nolan there, so I'm going to say 6 guys from. Actually, I took Jacob deGrom out of my top 10, so 4 guys out of my top are gone.
Wow, that's interesting.
Because you didn't hear it.
No, yeah, he's supposedly a little bit behind everybody in spring training. I did see that they do have him scheduled to throw over the next couple of days here, but they definitely said, hey, let's take it slow here. I don't think they announced a specific injury.
It's
they
a shoulder.
Oh, did they say shoulder?
I believe so.
Oof, yeah, if that's the case, I'm going to have to double check that. If that's the case, then I'm going to be moving him down as well. Matt, I will ask you one question if you could for me and the people. If you scroll up, is there a way to click to get rid of the guys that are already taken? I believe they're high drafted.
I love you. That's even
beautiful.
better.
That works very, very good for us here. So now here's the thing, brother. I'm not sure exactly what you're thinking here for our next pick. I would highly recommend, for us and anyone that's in this position, this is a spot where you kind of either want to go second base or outfield. Outfield thins out so fast, and so does second base. As far as second base, you still have Altuve, Jazz, and Ozzy at the, there. And then outfield, who's still sitting there for outfield, Matt? I think I saw Luis Robert, Starling Marte,
Michael Harris.
Michael Harris. See, this is, guys, I will say this to you. This is why I love going outfield in the first round, because you get one of those elite outfielders, and then it's just tough here because I love Eloy. I know Matt's highlighting Eloy there. It's just the way I'm looking at this. None of these guys are number 1 outfielders, in my opinion. None of these guys are going to go out there and just, Luis Robert has the upside to be a 5-2 guy, but he hasn't shown to be healthy over the last few years. So, I mean, me personally, and Matt's probably going to disagree, but I would go Jose Altuve here. And then I would just hope that, Harris or Robert or Eloy makes it back. And then I would probably start banging on outfield a little bit after.
I mean, I'm not mad at the Altuve pick. I was staring down Jazz, but I wouldn't pick Jazz here. But if we're going to go second base, and I kind of agree, because I don't know if we're going to be able to get like either one of them if we pass.
They're all going to go.
They're going to go.
They're going to go.
And I'd rather see if we could swing around, and we still haven't picked the pitcher yet, which also may change.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that there's enough pitchers around and we could swing around and then go get Eloy.
I think that's the game plan right now. I think we go second base. We take Altuve here because once again, it thins out so fast. It thins out so fast.
All right, so let's scoop up Altuve here. Why doesn't this work? Oh, I have to click the name. I'm so used to the app. So here we go. Boom, Altuve's gone. So now that goes too fast for me.
Yeah, no, they're definitely going pretty fast there.
All right, let's go over here. We'll hit suggestions. All right, so right after our pick, our pick was Jose Altuve, then Michael Harris, Carlos Rodon, Dylan Cease, Spencer Strider, Ozzy Albies. Yes, they are. Nolan Arenado, Justin Verlander, Rosier. Rosarena.
Randy Rosarena. There you got it.
Clase. He's super classy. Shane McClanahan, Schwarber, Zach Wheeler. So now we're starting to get a little dangerous in terms of pitching. I feel like we need to pick a pitcher at this point.
Yeah, it gets so tough here. I love Brandon Woodruff. I currently have Woodruff. He's been somebody that's just been consistently moving up my starting pitcher rankings. I have him currently at 7. So I think he's going at like a bargain, right now, if you can get him as your ace in the 4th round. But then again, I just look over and I see Luis Robert there. But I'm okay with passing on Robert to get Woodruff, because then, you know what, if Eloy's still there, we can grab us Eloy Jimenez.
Yeah, because, I mean, we just picked up Altuve, who's going to steal bases as well, which we're doing a pretty good job at balancing out between like 5-tool guys and then getting power. Because with Machado and him, I think that we're pretty much covered. I don't think we need the 5-tool guy at that point. Yeah. I like the Woodruff pick. I have him a couple picks higher than the other guy. I'd probably lean, and that would be Christian Javier. I would prefer him as my 2 at this point, but right now I think Woodruff is going to be solid, and we'll probably be able to get Javier in a couple rounds.
Yeah, Javier's an awesome number 2 starting pitcher with the ace upside. But yeah, I say let's go Brandon Woodruff here.
Now, the only other question I have, because he's in my top 10 versus Woodruff, who's 11, is Julio Urias. Now, he's not a strikeout guy, but he is like one of the most consistent pitchers, period.
I have Julio at number 11, so him and Woodruff are very, very close in my rankings, and Julio is definitely has ace, ace qualities to him. It's just, once again, that strikeout rate is just a little bit under, and I think Woody's gonna, if he pitches 190 innings, you could see 220 strikeouts, especially if that Raynoids is not bothering him this year, which we all hoping for. I think the value on Woodruff is amazing.
Completely agree. I'm right there with you on that, so let's just do that. Now, I hope everybody's enjoying this. Let me just see something real quick. I'm well past when I need to introduce our sponsor here. Sorry about that, guys. But we have somebody wonderful we need to talk about, and that is FanDuel. Here at Locked On, we're super excited about our new sports betting partner, FanDuel. The midway point of the NBA season is here, and now the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. New customers getting no sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just download FanDuel Sportsbook app. It's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Then you can bet on everything from money line to points scored to threes drained. Plus, FanDuel even lets you combine your bets for bigger chances and payouts in the same game parlay. So don't miss out on your chance for your no sweat first bet, up to $1,000 in bonus bets if your bet doesn't hit. Go to FanDuel.com/lockedon. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started today. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Yeah, buddy. So let's read off who went and check out that. And after Woodruff, JT Realmuto, Varsho, which is insanely high, Matt Olson, Cedric Mullins, Lindor, Luis Robert finally went off. There goes Jazz, Corey Seager, Hader, Bieber, and then we're up.
Here's just some good picks, man. That's to see Robert and Jazz go in the 5th round. That's pretty good value for whoever's getting them there. But I think we have to take our first outfielder here. I don't really even think it's too much of a question if we wait any longer.
It'll actually be our second, but I'm game.
Yeah.
I'm game though. I'm totally game. Now
we did take an outfielder?
Yeah, we'd start off with Tucker.
Oh yeah, I forgot we do have Tucker. I forgot we went the Tucker route. Yeah, so maybe you could weigh your options here actually if you really want to. I do like Eloy a lot though. That's
Eloy's staring me down.
Yeah. So let's go Eloy if we're on the same page. I honestly did forget that we took Tucker first. I apologize for that.
Just for everybody listening on audio and isn't aware of who we have and what our team looks like before we pick, right? Yes. At second base we have Jose Altuve. At third base we have Manny Machado. Outfield we have Kyle Tucker, and our first pitcher is Brandon Woodruff. Now, Dom, you see, I want to bring this up just because I know that like everybody who's looking at this draft or who isn't seeing the names come off or hearing me read them, they saw that we already had 4 relief pitchers go.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to bring this up because I know that some people might get antsy to see that, top 4 are already off the board. But me personally, I'm totally okay with living down in the mud and trying to scoop up last 2 or even have like 1 stud and then kind of just get like a meh closer for the end ball game. Are you on the same page with me for that?
Yes, pretty much. I will say this: know your league format though. League format is a big thing. Matt and I, and if we didn't mention this already, I'm going to mention it now. This is a 5x5 head-to-head categories league. That is Matt and I's specialty. The way that we draft and our rankings that you can find on our website, which is in our link tree, also are geared towards 5x5 head-to-head categories leagues, and they work for Roto as well. And this kind of draft strategy does work for Roto. In a points league, it's super, super subjective. So maybe if, your league is giving more points to, saves, then maybe you do want to go a little bit earlier on, a closer, and my thought process is once again very similar to Matt. I've had a lot of success over, my fantasy baseball career waiting on closers. And there's a lot of closers this year specifically that are going late that are great. You got Clay Holmes coming off the board pretty late. I think Andres Munoz from Seattle is going to, wind up overtaking that job and just, killing it down the stretch. And Alexis Diaz is also, another guy that's absolutely awesome. But before we make our pick here, guys, I'm just going to chime in and let you know about somebody that we have to talk about here. So if you're like me, you have a full-time job, you need to hit the gym sometimes, but you want a quick snack that's, not too high in calories but tastes great, you got to try Built Bar. I've been saying it for weeks now, guys, and if you haven't had a Built Bar yet, I think that's just on you at this point. But these bars taste absolutely delicious while maintaining amazing macros. Built Bars only have 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, and a whopping 17 grams of protein. They're absolutely super healthy for you, and they come in unbelievable flavors like cookies and cream, double chocolate, coconut puffs. And now, guess what, guys? You don't even need to wait around to get a box, because for years we've been talking about ordering your Built Bars at Built.com. And guess what? They're not only available on Built.com now, they're also available at your local Walmart or Sam's Club. So you got to go out there and get yourself some Built Bars, guys.
Yep.
But, yeah, heading back into this, Matt.
Hold on, you forgot somebody.
You
forgot our friend Lindsay.
How could I bury our friend Lindsay? I truly apologize for that. I'm so caught up in the energy of the mock draft that Matt and I think we're a little bit off with our ad reads today, so please forgive us, guys. We need to talk about our friend Lindsay Crosby, who was on the podcast. He hosts Locked On MLB Prospects. You go check out our first prospect episode 1 through 10. Lindsay was on there, did an absolutely great job. He does a great job on his podcast as well. So, guys, go check out Lindsay's podcast. Once again, it's Locked On MLB Prospects. Yeah. But all right, Matt, I think we're back now. Are we good? Are we good to go?
We're done for the ads until the very end of the show. So welcome in, guys.
Right, we can lock back in over here. So, Matt, let's once again, I agreed with you pretty much on the relief pitcher closer situation.
Mm-hmm.
And guys, once again, know your league type. But here, I think Matt's already pulled them up. We're going Eloy Jimenez as our number 2 outfielder.
Yep. So the team is Jose Altuve, Manny Machado, Kyle Tucker, Eloy Jimenez, Brandon Woodruff.
Bryce Harper went. That stings right in the gut.
No, that's too early for me, honestly.
No, it's super early, but Draft Wizard must have him pretty high then, because that's
yeah. You know what it is? They have everybody based off of their ADP bands across like nine different experts.
Yeah.
So I mean, somebody probably had him super high that weighed in over. I'm not taking him that high.
No, I wouldn't take it either. I've been getting him super late in drafts, and that's just that is a gut punch though. I like to get Harper as either my number 3 outfielder or like that utility spot, and then you supplement it by getting a decent outfielder later on. But Matt, why don't we read off who else went besides Bryce?
Absolutely. Sorry, I was checking my rankings, so I just got excited. I saw her name.
You're good. You're good, brother.
So after Eloy Jimenez, we had Adolis Garcia, Julio Urias, Bryce Harper, which is super early, Starling Marte, Alex Manoah, George Springer, Luis Castillo, Will Smith, and not Will Smith, the actor, Xander Bogaerts, Alex Bregman. Wow, Reynolds went early. Max Fried. One thing on Reynolds is I will not be drafting him anywhere relatively close to the 6th round. I won't pick him even in the top 10 rounds unless he gets traded, and then it's a whole nother ball game. But let's move on here, Dom. So here's what I was thinking, right? Because you remember I said my eyes lit up. So
yes, sir.
We had a lot of pitchers go now, and
I think you know where you're going, and you could just pick them because I think we're on the same page here.
Who do you think I'm going with?
I would hope it's Javier.
That is true, man.
Yeah.
See, that was an easy one. Christian Javier, absolute stud. A lot of people projecting him to be, the next Cy Young winner. I'm kind of right on board with him. So I'm loving the little Javier as a number 2. I did a mock draft earlier today because I'm just a fiend, and Javier was my number 2 pitcher again. Let's read off what we got going on here. So after Javier, we had another closer, Williams. Again, I don't know what that situation is yet.
Devin Williams is very good. I'm pretty sure he's got the job since Josh Hader's not there anymore.
I'm hoping so, but he didn't look like he had the job last year, but hopefully he can get it this year. Jordan Romano, another closer. So now it's starting to get a little ugly. Kevin Gausman, Presley. Wow, this is a closer run right here. Iglesias, Batista.
Big closer run.
Yeah. Aldi Rutschman, Yu Darvish, Salvador Perez, and Teoscar Hernandez.
It's great value for Teoscar, by the way. 7th round. He's very, very good.
That he is. So now, here's the thing. Now we're stuck between a rock and a hard place here. I mean, it's funny. I actually haven't drafted closers this high at all. Because if we go down here, right, like we have Duran, we have Diaz is but but he's not bad for what we're doing.
Well, he's
Barlow.
great. Actually, if you can we pull Diaz up and like just peep his stats real quick? I just want to let the people know real quick about Alexis Diaz. If you don't know, he's Edwin Diaz's little brother, and the Reds officially announced that he will start the year as their closer. And last year, Alexis Diaz went 63 innings. He had 7 wins, 3 losses, 10 saves, 83 Ks. Matt, pull him back up there for me. What was the strikeouts again?
He had 83.
83 strikeouts, 1.84 ERA, and an 0.96 WHIP. The guy's absolutely dominant. He has great stuff, and I just think that he's somebody that you can ride with. I don't know if he's necessarily going to be your number 1 closer because the Reds aren't going to win too many games, but I love him as a number 2 closer. Love him.
Yeah, he's somebody like you said, that's there, but like in terms of like why I said it's only because 1, the Reds, and 2, he hasn't even had a full job yet, and if he can handle having the job and being in those high leverage situations, game in and game out. But there's other names, like if we go down to like they're not even showing it, but I've been getting we call it. I still don't believe Sir Anthony Dominguez has the closer job. I think it's what's his face they just signed.
Craig Kimbrel.
And then the closer that's taking over for for Liam Hendricks. That's going to be
Kendall Graveman.
Graveman, like who's going for a super value right now. So everybody's forgetting about him. Like those are who I've been rolling with, and I've been able to stack out my bats and my arms a little bit further. I do like Clay Holmes, Jansen. He's a stud. So it's up to you what you want to do here.
I personally I wait on that closer spot. I will sit there and I will just ride out and just personally wait until wait until I have to take one. But at this point, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at our roster. We still need a first baseman, and I see the Italian breakfast still sitting there. And the thing is I just love Vinny P so much. If I had to really bet money, and like they were saying, Dom, you got to put some of your own personal money on the line, I think Jose Abreu might finish the year higher than Vinny P. But I just take Vinny P. The Italian breakfast. I love the nickname. I've been taking him everywhere, and I haven't regretted it at all. So with the way first base thins out, after Abreu and Vinny P, I do like Nate Lowe, but he only did it 1 year. CJ Cron slowed down a lot at the end of last year. Anthony Rizzo is actually a sneaky good pick later on if you want to wait, because without the shift, a lot of left-handed hitters are going to get more hits. But I would take Vinny P here. That's just what I would do, brother. I think you're in sync.
I am. I love Vinny P. I actually have Abreu 1 spot higher, but it's it's only because of just like it's Jose Abreu on the Houston Astros. But here's my tiebreaker. We already have Altuve. I don't want to have players have the same off day. So
we have already 3 Houston Astros. One of them's a pitcher, but already 3 for Yankee fans. I don't know. It's a little embarrassing.
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing too. Like you said, now we'll have 3. I don't want to do that. So boom, Vinny P is the guy. Now I'm not saying I wouldn't draft Altuve. Like I still would, but if I'm deciding between 2 guys, that would be my tiebreaker essentially. Just so everybody knows. All right.
So let's read who went after Vinny P.
All right. So the Italian breakfast went, of course, to us. Then Zach Gallen. God, I love that guy.
Good pitch. Good
then
pick.
Another closer.
Helsley.
Ryan Helsley, Valdez, Jose Abreu. See, we knew he wasn't coming back. Gunnar Henderson went. Tommy Edmonds. O'Neal Cruz, Corbin Carroll, love that pick. Tim Anderson, Joe Musgrove, Mr. Musty himself, Tyler O'Neill, Nate Lowe, and we're back on the block here.
Yeah, see, so you know what? I literally called it. If we did not take a first baseman there, we would have been, out of luck, because then everybody else is just kind of very suspect. Vinny P, Abreu, and Nate Lowe is kind of the end of that tier there, where, I find it as an acceptable starting first baseman in most leagues. 15-man league might be a little different, but especially for a 12-man league. After that, it does get a little suspect.
I like Cron. I'm okay with Cron there, if anything.
Cron's okay, but I would like to see how he kind of looks, because he really struggled to the finish line last year. I had him as my my sleeper first baseman last year. If you guys watched our first base preview, and paid off, but that second half was really, really tough for him. Yeah. But once again, Matt, looking at our team here, where are you leaning?
Well, let's read it off real quick. Vinny P, Jose Altuve, Manny Machado, Kyle Tucker, Eloy Jimenez, Brandon Woodruff, Christian Javier. So here's how I'm looking at this. We don't have a short, but that is probably the deepest position in baseball outside of pitching. And I see a bunch of names I like, so I don't even want to look that way yet. Obviously, I don't want to pick another catcher yet. I'm stuck between outfield and starting pitcher. We only have 2 starting pitchers in Woodruff and Javier. I'm leaning that way. There's a bunch of names I like here, but we can play the waiting game and solidify outfield, which is not deep, and there's not many names I like. But I'll leave it on you. I'll give you the pick.
Yeah, see, here's the thing is I do love me here, Chris Bryant. I know Matt was passing by him. He's somebody that I have ranked extraordinarily high at outfield. Where do I have him ranked again? Let me check here. I have him ranked as my number 14 outfielder. So
as do I.
The value right here on Chris Bryant is absolutely amazing. And then you got, as far as starting pitcher goes, you got Glass now, you got McKenzie, you got Nestor Cortez, Logan Webb, Severino, Snell, Kirby, Clayton Kershaw. So I think you really go outfield here and just solidify, our having 3 very, very good outfielders. And I would take Chris Bryant.
Yes, that's what I was hoping you were going to say. Boom. All right, let's go back here.
Team's looking very solid so far.
You know what we did, and I got to say this, right? We actually do a really good job of balancing out power. We're a little bit power heavy now, but that doesn't mean we're not going to be able to scoop up. But I mean, between Tucker and Altuve, in terms of steals, we're pretty much golden. Like, we have the right amount, and then we have a whole bunch of power between the Italian breakfast, Machado, Eloy, and Bryant. Like, we did really well there, I got to say.
And then even if you want to talk about batting average, Vinny P could hit 300. Altuve hits at least 280. Machado hit 296 last year. Tucker is a little suspect, but we supplemented that by everybody else. Eloy could hit 300. Chris Bryant could hit 300. I will say this, though. We might need to pick up a guy who's pretty quick. What I've been doing, and it's like probably the worst move ever, and it goes against everything that Matt and I have ever talked about, and he's already hurt, by the way. That's Adalberto Mondesi. It like with the last pick of your draft, or like right at the end, I did it in my league, and then I got the notification, oh, he's already hurt, he's already not starting the year, and it kind of stinks. But when he's there, he could win you steals every single week. But still, we'll talk about that when we get there, man. I think we turn our eyes back to starting pitching though, because we do only have 2 right now.
Right. But let me read off who was picked after KB.
Oh yes, sir.
So after Chris Bryant, Dansby Swanson, Jimenez, Wander Franco, Kenley Jansen, Correa. So there's a shortstop run real quick. Robbie Ray, Tristan McKenzie, Tyler Glasnow, Camilo Duvall. Right, I said that right?
Duvall.
Wow,
right
I'm way off. And Byron Buxton. So there's the other hospital wing himself, Mr. Byron Buxton. So let's get over here. So I'm definitely on board. Like, I want to get a starting pitcher, but I don't want to draft Nestor Cortez because of the injury. They're saying he might be ready for opening day, but they're not 100% sure. And at this point, with no answers in this early in draft season, if my season started tomorrow or this week, I just would not feel comfortable rolling out with Nestor.
Yeah, I think I did see in alert. Once again, I would have to double check myself here. I think he did throw a bullpen yesterday or 2 days ago, and they said it was successful. So that is a good sign, but still, we don't know exactly where he's going to be. And I'm sure he's going to fall down draft boards, which some people will benefit from, because if you do take him and, he just comes back and looks fine, the guy's an absolute ace caliber pitcher. But see, I think this is the first time, Matt and I have been pretty in sync so far. I don't know if we're going to agree on who to take, because there's just so many great guys here. Once again, if we're taking Cortez off the board, which I agree with, Logan Webb, Severino, Blake Snell, George Kirby, Clayton Kershaw, Logan Gilbert, Kyle Wright, Hunter Green, Lodolo, Lance Lynn, Joe Ryan, Freddie Peralta. Definitely not Lucas Giolito. But what did I just name? About 8 to 9 starting pitchers that I would be fine with any of them as my number 3. If I had to pick a favorite, which is pretty much impossible for me in this group, I can't even. I'm glad that we're not doing an actual draft where we're timed, because this is just so tough.
You know what? Rankings tiebreaker.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. Who do I have out of all of these guys? Who do I have the highest?
I know who I want.
I do have Nestor the highest, but so
outside of him.
Yeah, we're taking him out. Then I actually have Severino the next highest. To be honest with you, I have Severino at 21.
So Sevy.
Who do you have next?
Because I have Sevy at 29. So he's below. He's below, like, I have Clayton Kershaw sitting above him, and I have Blake Snell sitting ahead of him.
I have Kershaw at 26, and Snell is at 32. So I think it evens out at Kershaw here.
Yeah,
And
I
our
think
first
so.
two guys are pretty safe. Woodruff always throws at least like around 180, and then Javier, I think he takes that next step this year. So I think we can supplement. We haven't gone too risky at starting pitching. I think Clayton Kershaw is a great pick here.
Bet. Let's lock it in.
But
Boom.
now, yeah, with that being said, guys, now here, the next starting pitcher we take is somebody that you want to make sure that they're going to give you a good amount of innings, or at least that they have done it so far in their career.
And you see who went already? I'm really disappointed.
Yeah, Snell with the next pick.
Blake Snell. Well, I figured that, but Gilly went, and I'm really upset.
Yeah, he's another guy. I have him ranked. I have Gilbert. I have him pretty high too. Where is he?
Literally the pick before us, but let me read off what went.
Yeah,
so after Kershaw, then Blake Snell, Reese Hoskins, Kyle Wright, Willie Adames, way too high. Christian Kirk, great value.
Alejandro Kirk.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still stuck in football. Jake McCarthy, I like that pick. Yelich, Pena.
Little high for me on McCarthy.
Yeah, I mean it's okay because the upside. Yelich, Pena.
Ooh, that
Nestor,
one hurts.
Yeah, it does hurt. Nestor Cortez finally went. I was hoping to possibly even maybe scoop him in like a round or two with the injury, bringing him down. It would have happened probably if we were drafting with real people. Trevor Story, way too high. Wilson Contreras, very surprised. And Mr. Gilly, Mr. Logan Gilbert himself. So we have some decisions to make. We still don't have a shortstop.
Yeah, I was going to say, who's still there at shortstop? We could definitely look in that direction and just see who's there.
So, it's ugly.
Here's the thing, and it's such a sneaky pick, and I took him. The one real draft I've done so far, I did take him. I took Ahmed Rosario. And if you guys don't know about Ahmed Rosario, he was a very highly touted prospect when he was with the Mets. And, he goes over to the Guardians last year. Matt, you just want to pop his numbers up there real quick? So I can read it to the people listening on audio. And if you're here on visual on YouTube, you can take a little look. So Ahmed Rosario, 86 runs over 153 games last year, 637 at-bats, 11 bombs, 71 RBIs, 18 steals, and he had 283. And I actually think he fits our build in the sense of we have a lot of power already, so we don't need him to hit home runs. And that Guardians team is only getting better with the 86 runs and 71 RBIs, can definitely move up, but he chipped into 18 steals. And we're not bad on steals, but we definitely could use guys that are going to chip in, a good amount of steals. And those 18 steals could turn into 25 with the bigger bases. Cleveland likes to run. He's continuing that good batting average that we already have. I would probably, if it was just me, I would take Ahmed Rosario. But I'm going to let my brother Matt here chime in, and he's going to, let us know what he's thinking.
So here's the thing, right? I'm okay with that pick because I have somebody else in mind that we're going to get with one of our last couple picks that's going to replace him the second he gets called up.
Fair enough.
And that's Mr. Elly De La Cruz.
It's an interesting pick. I want to see what's going on with him in spring training. I want to see what
I do too.
Based on a redraft league, I don't know if he's somebody that I'm necessarily taking unless the Reds come out and say, hey, listen, he's going to be up, right away, or he goes out there and he destroys spring training, and even if they don't call him up right away, he's going to push their hand right after the Super 2 and all that stuff. So I do like that, but if we don't go Ahmed Rosario, where else would you be looking at? Just to let the people know.
To be honest, that's the only name that I think I'd feel comfortable at this point. Like Javier Baez is washed and he's on Detroit.
That's not anybody.
Tovar is interesting. He's another rook. I'm surprised they have him so high, but not Elly De La Cruz. Actually, De Cruz wasn't even picked yet. So like that's the other part.
Definitely not picked. You'd probably have to search for him, to be honest. They probably got him buried.
Yeah, he's all the way down. Like, yeah, he's right here. He's like there. That's super unjust. Now I understand there's no possibility that he's getting that people don't think he's gonna make the team, but I think he will. But there's a lot of options. I don't think right now I feel any closer, any bit safer with that. At least you know what, he's not gonna murder us in batting average and the stolen bases and nice little chip ins. As we were saying, we're gonna need more steals. So let's go with Ahmed.
I think in the deep shortstop class that we have this year, he's the kind of end of a tier in the sense of I feel comfortable with him in a 12-man league as my starting shortstop. After Ahmed, it's just like, Ooh, do you see who's there at the top? I actually love that. Oh my God, Taylor Ward still sitting there. That's just super, super great value. I don't know if we'll take that direction here, but that's a great value for Taylor Ward.
You know, you got me thinking here. But hold on, let me read off what we got here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we got Ahmed Rosario, we got Logan Webb, we got MJ Melendez, Stephen Kwan, the other Contreras,
William.
You know, I guess they want that WC. Parents. I wonder if their parents have the same initials. Max Muncy, Lance Lynn, Mr. Santander Bank himself, Jake Cronenworth, George Kirby, and Luis Severino. I'm surprised he went this late, which is actually kind of crazy.
Him and Kirby, that's great value on both.
Yeah, steal. So here's how we're looking right now. We have pretty much all our positionals filled out except for catcher, which we're not a high catcher draft pick show. It's just not our thing. You know, it's you're not going to get more than 400 at bats to 450 at bats from your catcher. So you just want somebody that's not going to murder you. That's usually our strategy. We only have three pitchers, which is kind of scary for me. I kind of want to get another one, or Taylor Ward is definitely enticing, but.
Ooh, I see it. Yeah, we're on the same page. Yeah, let's do that before he's not there anymore.
Yeah, Freddie Peralta.
Yeah, it's right in sync. Right in sync.
So he got hurt, but he still had. And when he came back, he looked good. He looked like himself. And I mean, the stats are actually pretty good. He had 78 innings pitched. He had 4 wins. He had 86 Ks. So the K per 9 was still there, and he still had, even with being injured and coming back, he still had a 3.58 ERA with a 104 WHIP. I think that he's in for a great season if he can stay healthy. And you know what? He's not one of those guys that's on my flanges lists. And guys, just so you know, flanges just means injury prone on this show. It's just a funny joke how I make fun of everybody. So we're gonna draft him.
Yeah. See, I will say this: we're taking the upside play here. You necessarily don't want to pair Freddie Peralta with a Clayton Kershaw, but at this point in the draft, it's just okay. We need another good starting pitcher. And Matt and I kind of pride ourselves on our waiver wire skills. If you guys were tuned in here last year before we joined Locked On and we were just doing our own thing with the Fantasy Baseball MDs, Matt and I provided some great waiver wire segments. So look forward to, we will continue that here, on Locked On. Mm-hmm. So that's why we feel we could take that risk.
Absolutely. And that, and also too, I mean, Freddie really hasn't missed time outside of last year. So, I mean, So, I mean, it's not really that risky. He's just coming off the injury, but he's shown what he did last year, that he was back to normal. That's where it's like, I just don't feel too guilty that, like, hey, I have them too. I think Peralta is going to be fine. But let's read off who went. And that's CJ Crone, Taylor Ward. Oh, so mad he went. Hunter Green, Nick Castellanos was still there. Oh, I'm so upset. Great value. Nick Lodolo, Christian Walker, David Bender, Tony Gonsolin, Giancarlo Stanton. This is just Liam Hendricks. I don't foresee pitching this season.
He actually did throw a bullpen the other day.
Yeah, but is he free and clear of cancer, though, is the question.
I don't know. We're wishing him the best, but I couldn't tell you.
I hope he is. I hope that's the case. But I don't see how he could just return this soon, because the diagnosis only came a couple months ago. Gleyber Torres, Sean Murphy, and then we're back on the clock. So a lot of good names went off the board here. And we have 4 starting pitchers. We have everything, but now we need a UT, and I think we kind of have to before the tier drops off here. And let me just get up here. Where is it? You want to go outfielder, don't you?
Let's take a little peek. See, I just do want to clarify that Freddie Peralta almost should be on the flanges list because in 2019 he had the SC joint injury in his shoulder, and then 2021 the same right shoulder inflammation. Last year he had the strained right lat muscle. And then, once again, last year in September, he did have shoulder fatigue again and inflammation in that right shoulder. So you don't like to see that. That same shoulder's been bothering him for quite a few years at this point. But once he does pitch, he's a super, super elite starting pitcher, has great stuff. But with that being said, I'm looking here at the outfield. I don't necessarily see anybody that's just jumping off the page to me right there. I do like Oscar Gonzalez. I'm lying. Yeah, Oscar Gonzalez is great. Who else is up there just overall? Polanco. Rizzo's actually a good value here. Brandon Lowe. There's a decent amount of guys here that work as a utility. Vaughn
Mhm.
Grissom is still there, but Vaughn Grissom does have that question mark. Is he going to get that nod? Is he not going to get that nod? Anthony Rendon, Matt's pointing out to me. There's just a lot of great guys here. And we could see this is the point where I personally feel comfortable taking a closer. I would.
Oh, do you see who's there too?
Yeah, I could see myself taking Clay Holmes, who had a monster year last year, 63 innings, 65 Ks, 20 saves, 2.69 ERA, and a 102 WHIP. That Yankees team is going to win a lot of games, and if Clay Holmes is the guy out there getting the saves for us,
Yeah, man.
I mean, great value here for Clay Holmes.
Yeah, because you know what? Chapman got hurt last year, and then he came back. He saw what Clay Holmes was like, and he was like, they took my job. You know, because like he came back and they're like, yeah, you're gonna go in like the 7th inning now. You're irrelevant. Mr. Clay Holmes killed it in that limited time, and I think he's gonna have a great season as a closer. So
yeah, I take him. I think take him.
Yep, clickety clicked. He's in.
Yeah. See, and there's the thing. As we were looking around, I saw there's a pretty solid amount of bats there that I still liked. So I think, and then the closers really start to thin out. So I think Clay Holmes is a great pick there.
Oh yeah. So now after Clay Holmes, we had Seiya Suzuki, Tyler Stevenson, Luis. I can't
Luis
say
Arise.
There we go, Arise. Daniel Bard, Hunter Renfroe, Ketel Marte, Whit Merrifield. That's just a waste of a pick. Pablo Lopez. Damn, I'm mad we missed out on him. Scott Barlow and Chris Bassett. Barlow, I'm mad he went. Bassett, that's such a waste of a pick. You guys have probably heard me tease what I don't like Bassett. Reason for it is the pitch clock. If you ever watch Bassett pitch, he takes like 9 million years to just throw one. Like games are like 19 hours when he plays. So I think that with him being rushed now with the pitch clock, I think that's going to affect him in his head and, getting ready and being able, and I think he's going to be giving up a lot more than he has in the past. So I'm a little bit more on the outie on Bassett, and I'd rather him get blown up somewhere else on somebody else's team. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'd rather just miss out on it. So I was a big fan up until the pitch clock for him.
Yeah, Bassett's all right, but I think we'll touch on him more, as we get into the starting pitcher previews and stuff like that. But with that being said, let's look what we're doing here, and I do still see Oscar Gonzalez on the board, and never hurts to have too many outfielders. I do like Anthony Rizzo here as well, but it's just a matter of what we want to do. Matt, where are you leaning?
So I mean, I'm loving the Oscar Gonzalez just based on the fact of where I have him ranked. He's my 26th outfielder, and we're getting him like this late in the game. Like I'm kind of good with him, like 100%.
Yeah, I have Oscar Gonzalez. I think I moved him down a tiny bit. I moved him down to like 28. But I've been fluctuating with him somewhere in the mid-20s, so I definitely like that pick. Let's go Oscar Gonzalez.
Bet. Done deal.
Last year, Oscar Gonzalez had a monster year with Cleveland. He killed it in the playoffs as well. He had that walk-off, I believe it was against the Yankees, and it was he did. And he's just a monster player.
Yeah, he's going for a crazy value. Like you're pretty much seeing him going around this pick, and you're able to scoop him up. And with outfield being this putrid, it's nice. Now, do I see him going up the draft boards? Probably. I don't think we're going to get him at this crazy value, but he's not going to break like a top 100. He's not going to be like a drafted as a top 40 outfielder, or top 30 outfielder. So you'll be able to possibly scoop him up as your third or UT hitter, no matter what, and you're going to be grateful we did. Fortunately, we're going to have to drive him up the draft boards. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway.
Yeah. That's what we're going to do here because he's great.
So let's go with it. After Gonzalez, we had Chris Sale, Andrew Munoz.
Andres Munoz.
Yes, just that one. Suarez, Alexis Diaz finally went off the board.
Yeah, that one hurts. Oh, and then Luzardo too. Oh,
great. Then Charlie Morton,
Raleigh.
Yeah, Dustin May, so mad. Duran went. See, now we're starting to have another closer run. Chapman, Fairbanks,
another closer.
Ty France, and we're on the board.
Yeah, here I might be looking to dip my feet back into the starting pitcher pool. Just
there's names. There's a lot of names that we like here.
Names. I love Joe Ryan. If you guys didn't see our pitchers to target episode, I love Jeffrey Springs as well. I love Drew Rasmussen. Luis Garcia is solid, but I wouldn't take him here. Grayson Rodriguez, once again, I want to see what's going on with him when spring training comes. And then it kind of starts to dip off a bit, in my opinion. So I definitely think, and then we passed Jordan Montgomery. Jordan Montgomery's great. Eddie Cabrera, our boy, Jack Flaherty. I'm sure Michael Kopech is there buried somewhere, but he's like one of our,
there.
He's still there. So, I mean, we could. I would like to secure up a fifth pitcher here. What catchers are left, though, by the way, too? I do want to at least peek my eye at catcher just to see who's there. I think all the guys I like, though, have pretty much been taken.
So, catcher. No, there's some. I mean, Danny Jansen's not going to get the playing time.
Yeah.
But we got Travis d'Arnaud. We got O'Hoppe, who some have been drafting a lot recently.
Yeah, I like Logan O'Hoppe a lot.
I mean, Vasquez could have the job there, which is interesting.
Oh yeah, I think he is starting in Minnesota. I think that's pretty much locked in for him.
Yeah, and he's everybody's sleeping on him, but he was on the World Series team. He actually is a solid catcher. They got a lot they gave up a lot to get him too from Boston. So like he actually is somebody that's probably been forgotten. Then we got Mr. Elise Diaz, because I mean he was somebody we highlighted in the waiver wire section. He had a crazy little stint there. So, and again, we're not really big on catchers to begin with. And then, Austin Nola is still here if you really need to, throw one out.
And Jose Trevino was an all-star last year, by the way, in case anyone forgot.
Right. And I mean, if you want to, since it's just a terrible position anyway, we could just go with the upside of Francisco Alvarez as our last pick, probably.
Yeah, I will say this. Normally, like Matt kind of said, I'm not a big catcher guy, but I kind of like to live in the William Contreras, Tyler Stevenson range, so I might have done that a little bit earlier, but since they're not there, I think we go starting pitcher. And I like at the top there, I do like Joe Ryan and I do like Jeffrey Springs. And I love Jordan Montgomery too. So, Matt, I think you be the decision maker here, and who you think we should take.
All right. I mean,
What Montgomery did after, he went over to St. Louis from the Yankees was absolutely dominant. But I think Ryan, Montgomery, and Springs are all going to be successful this year. So I wouldn't be mad at any one of them as my number 5.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, they all have great teachers, too, which is just wild. Yeah. They're all on great teams and great situations. I'm going to go with Joe Ryan just because he's my highest rated out of the 3 of the guys. Springs would have been a strong second. Montgomery would have been my third, only because I want to see what his role is if he's going to have the starting job there 100% the whole year. We're going to get more answers as we go through the season.
Matt, I'll make you laugh. I have Jeffrey Springs at 43 and Joe Ryan at 44, and then Jordan Montgomery at 46. So that's why that's a tough decision for me to make. I think all of them are just, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, they're all bunched together for a reason here.
Then Rizzo goes to him.
Yeah, I know. That would have been nice. And then Andrew Vaughn, too. Damn.
Yeah, another great pick.
Nimmo, that would have been nice as stolen bases and the runs. Estrada, Kodai Senga, that was a nice pick. He was another one I was staring at. There's Springs. Garcia. Yoshida, I really wasn't high on. Miranda is another nice one. Then Lucas Giolito, which Dom hates that name.
Boo.
I wasn't even gonna bring it up, but I mean, I'm not picking him here anyway. So like I would feel comfortable as my 6th pitcher, not my 5th pitcher.
I'm just not comfortable taking him at all. And you know what? If he figures it back out and I miss out on him, I'm not even going to be mad, because the guy had, I believe the ERA was over 5. If not, it was very close. He had like a 1.4 something whip, and it just. I'm not taking that risk. I did it last year and it burned me, and I'm not doing it again.
Bro, but our team like a sour ex-girlfriend.
I'm trying to not do it again, because I forget what episode it was on, but I did a huge Lucas Giolito rant about why I didn't like him, and I'm not doing it again. Just know I'm not a fan.
All right. So here's the deal. We're getting into this weird part where I'm starting to see the closers pop up that I like. Now, Kendall Graveman's sitting there, and so is Krimble. We need a second one, and we also need a utility hitter. What would you like to do?
Utility might be a little bit more important.
All right. So let's see here. I like the Polanco. Oh, Brandon Lowe is just getting what?
Yeah, he's fallen there too.
Mr. Grissom.
Grissom's still there.
Oh my
This is
God.
Jonathan India still there. I love Jonathan India.
Bounce back candidate. We'll be talking about him.
Even JD Martinez, I think, is going to be good on that Dodgers team if he's just going to only DH and he doesn't have to get out there in that outfield. The Dodgers just have a way with making guys really good. Lars Nootbaar is there, who Matt and I are both big on this year. Joey Meneses, who break out at the end of last year, floating around. Mitch Haniger. But let's evaluate our team right now, guys. In case you're not watching and you're just listening, let me read off to you who we have here. We have Vinny Pasquantino on first base, Jose Altuve at second, Ahmed Rosario at short, Manny Machado at third, Kyle Tucker as our first outfielder. Then we have Eloy Jimenez, Chris Bryant, and Oscar Gonzalez as our next few outfielders. Then we have Brandon Woodruff as our first starting pitcher. Christian Javier is our number 2. We have Clay Holmes closing. Clayton Kershaw is our number 3. Freddie Peralta is our number 4. And Joe Ryan's our number 5. So I'm pretty happy with the rotation right now. And there's a couple sneaky guys that Matt and I like as the draft gets later. So I think we definitely have to take us another bat here. And I'm just kind of torn. I really love the way our team is shaping out. There's not really another shortstop that I truly think is going to help us out because that's probably our weakest position right now. We have 4 outfielders already. Damn, this just gets kind of tough. So maybe I think Lau or Polanco is the pick here, but let me see who I have ranked higher at second base. I have once again back to back, so it kind of stinks. Brandon Jury's a scrub. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, so I heard something too. He's going to be Jury is like on my no draft list too. He's going to be platooning unless there's an injury.
Possible. Yeah,
so
possible.
I'm not even feeling that. I have Lowe as my 5th second baseman, by the way.
I have Lowe as my number 8, and I have Polanco as my number 9. So I guess let's go Brandon Lowe. We both do have him ranked higher.
Yes, I also have Von Grissom too. So that's the other thing.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I think, if this was a real draft, I might get frisky and, just say go for it. But the thing is, let's stay true to our rankings here and let's take Brandon Lau. Our batting average is going to be very good. We have a lot of good batting average guys. The thing is I always forget if it's Low or Lau. I go back and forth.
It's Low.
Yeah, so
he gets Low.
Yeah, so Brandon Lowe, the thing is he can chip in a couple of steals. The power is legit. He might hurt us in batting average, but it's always good to have a backup second baseman.
He's like a 250 hitter anyway, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, so after Lowe, then Polanco came off the board. Paul Sewall, Ian Happ, Luis Garcia, Tovar. Oh, that's such a nice little pick there, but it's still too early. Jordan Montgomery, Brady Singer, Craig Krimble, Walker Buehler. That's a waste of a pick. He's not pitching this year. Rowdy Tellez, Hughes from the Cubs, Nico Horner.
Nico Horner is actually a sneaky pick. Nico Horner is pretty good. He had a big breakout year last year, and I think he's somebody that if you get him late in drafts, he could show out.
So here's how I'm looking at this. Grissom, I'm not willing to take. We just took a second baseman, but he's on my watch list, so he's just sitting there because Grissom is one of our favorite guys.
Definitely.
There's no more first baseman I'm willing to look at.
Yeah, we don't need to go that route. I think starting pitcher here.
There is Rendon too. I'm just going to highlight him.
Yeah,
that would have been a nice pick too. Outfield wise, there's still Mitch Haniger sitting there, Riley Green, Nootbaar, Bellinger on the upside. Meneses is another one I like here. Jock Peterson.
I don't know why Jock's going so late in drafts, especially he had pretty much almost the best year of his career last year.
It was an all-star. It makes no sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
All right, and then Ellie De La Cruz is still sitting here too, who I'm a huge fan of. So but we need a starting pitcher or a closer. That's really where I'm going with.
I think we should maybe lean into the starting pitcher department.
All right. Just know that Kendall Graveman is still here.
I do like Kendall Graveman. I'll say this, though, and I know Matt's going to once again disagree with me. I think Sir Anthony Dominguez gets the nod as, like, the lead guy as far as, closing in Philly, but I don't think it's just going to be his job alone. I think they're going to, go situationally.
Right, so Graveman's the one taking over for Liam Hendricks.
Yeah, that is true, too. But I still want to see what the situation is on Hendricks, especially since I did see he threw a bullpen. I mean, once again, if it was just me by myself, I probably would go Sir Anthony Dominguez if I was taking closer right now, which I still don't think we should do. But I've been getting this guy as my number 6 starting pitcher in every draft I've done, and I think it's absolutely great value. And I know Matt likes him, too. That's Edward Cabrera, starting pitcher of the Miami Marlins. The kid is just dominant. He learns
He's
from
there?
yes, he is. He's 68 in their rankings.
Oh, let's go. That's not even a debate. But go
Yeah,
ahead and talk about him.
Yeah, the kid's just dominant. Last year, 71 innings, 75 Ks, 6 wins, 4 losses, 3.01 ERA, 107 WHIP. But he was beating up on good teams. I think he pitched great against the Astros, a couple other good teams that he pitched well against. And Edward Cabrera is just somebody I've had my eye on for like the last 3 or 4 years. And the kid has just been absolutely dominant in the minors. Big kid. I just think he's somebody that is just going to have a big breakout year.
So I read an article yesterday. I'm going to select Cabrera real quick. That was a no-brainer. So about Liam Hendricks. Liam Hendricks has no time hit table when he's going to return. He just pitched it just to be around the team, but he is actually not in baseball shape at all.
Yes.
So he's still going through the chemo. So I don't foresee him pitching. Even if he does, he's not going to come back in a high leverage situation, and probably not till middle of the season, and then maybe the end of the season take the job. So let's just he's kind of out of my mind. And Graveman, who is the closer on that team.
Yeah,
so here's what we got right now. Suggestion. Let me hit this real quick. So after Edward Cabrera, Mitch Haniger.
Good. It's a good pick.
Mountcastle, Yandy Diaz, Rasmussen.
It's a great pick too. Rasmussen, that's in the 16th round, is just great value.
Yeah. Travis d'Arnaud, Lance McCullers. That's a waste of a pick. That guy just shows all his pitches. Phillips. Kelby Ruiz. Yeah, there we go. Grayson Rodriguez went. Merrill Kelly, who I am a fan of.
Yeah, for sure.
So our team right now, just so everybody knows, we haven't had it in a while.
It's good.
Italian Breakfast, Vinny P, Jose Altuve, Ahmed Rosario, Manny Machado, Kyle Tucker, Eloy Jimenez, Chris Bryant, Oscar Gonzalez, Brandon Lowe, Brandon Woodruff, Christian Javier, Clay Holmes, Clayton Kershaw, Freddie Peralta, Joe Ryan, Edwin Cabrera. Now, I think we need a starting pitcher or a closer. That's just where I'm at right now. I'm good with Graveman, but I think we might be able to wait, and I think we might be able to follow it up with a Mr. Flaherty here.
Yeah.
Or they got to have some Eric Lauer. I'm a fan of Michael Kopech. I'm a fan of.
I do like Eric Lauer a lot. Eric Lauer is pretty solid.
Let me see. I'm just gonna pull out more names. I'm just gonna keep going here.
Aaron Savale, guys, is a sneaky pick, by the way. He was hurt for most of last year, but he finished the season very strong. I actually want to see, I'll let my brother Matt ran here for a minute. I'm going to pull up a very interesting Aaron Savale stat.
Yeah, Savale's great. He was one of our favorites last year. He kind of just, a little bust, but he was a little injured. You got Braxton Garrett, Mike Soroka. Wow, there's so many names left. I love pitching this year. It's going to be so easy to just make it up. Andrew Painter. So, I'm good with anyway at this point, Dom. I mean, I think we either go starting pitcher or relief.
If you want to take Kendall Graveman, I think that's a solid pick.
Just lock it up, right? That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah, we could definitely go for that.
All right, boom. Let's do that. I'm gonna have to speed this up just a tad because we're running really long today.
Yeah, we certainly are. But let me throw out, in case you guys aren't familiar with Aaron Savale, pitcher for the Cleveland Guardians. He's still only 28 years old, and let me give you what he did over his last 10 starts. After he came, he was not after he came back from the injury, but it says his last 10 starts, right? So Savale's last 10 starts, 51 innings pitched, 53 strikeouts, a 3 ERA. Batters only hit 198 against him over that time. And the whip was also very solid at well under 1. It was almost like a 0.89 whip. So that just shows you Savale, when he's healthy, is an absolutely dominant starting pitcher. So don't sleep on him. If you get him as one of your last, or your last starting pitcher, which you could do, I think that's tremendous value. He's somebody in 15s, AL onlys, I'm definitely targeting. Even in 12-man, once again, as your last starting pitcher, Savale could return great value.
Yeah. There's so many names right now in the batting category. I don't even want to look at this.
I like Rendon.
Rendon's a nice pick, but if I'm picking a bat right now, personally, it's Von Grissom.
Yeah, the new bar still there.
Yeah, there's so many of our guys.
Who do we have at third again, Matt? Who's our third baseman?
Third base, we got Mr. Machado.
Danny, damn. Yeah, this team is looking very, very strong, to be honest with you. Very, very, very strong.
I think we lock up just our starting lineup. Let's just get this SP.
Okay,
and then we just go from there. And then we can kind of just pick our favorite guys, because at this point, after you locked in all your starters, now it's who do I just want there, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to see who I have ranked the highest out of everybody that's left.
So, I mean, I have Jack Flaherty there. Ooh, she's still cute as hell there.
Yeah, I have Kopech at 47, and I have Jack Flaherty at 50.
So, wow, I'm much higher than Kopech. I'm at 39, so I kind of just want to grab him and call it a day.
Yeah, we can do that.
But then we also
at 39, huh?
Damn. Yeah, that's where I'm at with him. And then I also have
fair enough.
Let me see who else is around there. Wow, I am just crazy. All right. Yeah, let's just do that. There's so many good pitchers.
I'd say we go Kopech.
Yeah, he's a number 6. Just where is he?
You got to scroll for him a little bit.
It's such a shame.
He's just, if it wasn't for that knee issue at the end of last year, I think everyone would be, a lot higher on him. It just still doesn't make sense to me. Trevor Bauer goes. Trevor Bauer doesn't even have a team. That's right. That's cool.
I mean, it's a nice upside pick, but like he would have been my last pick of the draft, not like round 17.
Nah, that's crazy.
All right, so I didn't even read it off who went after Graveman. I apologize, fans. So I'm gonna go 2 rounds. I'm gonna hit this quick. Graveman, Jeff McNeil, Alec Boehm, Javier Baez, DJ LeMahieu, Andrew Painter. Why would you take him so high? I hate you. John Gray, Alex Cobb, Jose Leclerc, Shibber. I probably botched the name. Aaron Ashby. Schreiber. There we go. Nathan Evaldi, Ross Stripling, Michael Kopech. Now we're at our pick.
Answer Alberto. Okay.
Interesting. Sure. Pablo Sandoval, not a bad pick. AJ Minter. Yeah, same thing. Jorge Lopez, Jose Berrios, Jack Flaherty went. Trevor Bauer's a waste. Hassan Adams, Reed Demeters, Tyler. Yeah. And Tyler Anderson. So, guys, if you can't figure this out, I can't read.
Does that mean Anthony Rendon is still there? Because I think we have to take him at this point. If he's still there, I think that's the move.
He is. He's still there.
I think that's the move.
That's the best. Not only the best third baseman available. Like, I don't know what they're doing with Key Bryan here. He's on a terrible team. He doesn't hit home runs and he doesn't get ribbies. So, like, that's just silly, guys. And then Von Grissom's still there too. Like,
yeah, we have a backup second baseman though. That's the thing already. We already have 2 second basemen, so I think you take Rendon here and just you bank that he's healthy and has that big, huge bounce back year.
Yeah, our last pick is going to our next 2 picks. We're picking Ellie De La Cruz, and we're just calling it.
Hey, brother, if that's the route you want to take, I'll let you run for it. But I would be, especially in redraft, if it was a keeper or a dynasty, I'd say yeah, sure, he probably would have went 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds ahead. I just don't know personally what their plan is, and I like with a guy like Von Grissom still there. I would take Von Grissom over him. I would take Nootbaar over him if Nootbaar's still around. It's just that we could take if he's there like one of our last picks. I think
that's what we're at, almost our last picks. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Also, too, just the only reason is there's an incentive for teams to have their prospects being called up from day one.
Get draft picks.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the part where I'm just like, hey, and I don't like our shortstop as full time. So, like, if we can scoop him up and he'd be the best scenario case if he hits. And if not, you drop him. It's that easy. All right, so Chapman, Urias, Danny Jansen, Tom Murphy, Hunter Brown. Oh, nice pick. Finnegan, Key Brian Hayes, Jackson Churios. Ooh, Brandon Jury, Alex Verdugo, CJ Abrams, Josh Rojas. And then we're on the clock. Oh, wow. They took Churios over him. Wow.
Matt, okay. real quick, is O'Hoppe still there? Because we do need a catcher. I spaced on that.
Oh no, he's still there. Oh, we probably should though.
I think we grab him now just to lock him in.
Done. All right,
cool. Guys. If you didn't, I think we did it in our Rising Stars episode. I think we talked about Logan O'Hoppe there, and he's a very, very good young player. He came over in a trade at the end of the year. I believe it was with Philly, Matt. I believe he was with your Phillies before he went over to the Angels.
Well, not my Phillies, but my second team.
Well, your hometown. Let's put it that way. Your hometown Phillies.
Yeah.
We all know Matt's a certified Yankee fan. He lived in New York pretty much his whole life.
Yeah.
Before he went to, before he met the love of his life and moved out there, Matt's still a Yankee fan.
Yes. All right. So after O'Hoppe, Josh Bell, Von Grissom, Justin Turner, Meneses, Vargas.
Matt's boy Vargas.
Bellinger, Birdie, Mr. Studio Girl himself, Josh Naylor, Ryan McMahon, and Alvarez. We're on the clock.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's see here. I think we need another pitcher and we need another bat.
We do.
But I think we're good with the bat I think we're good in the bat scenario, and I think we just grab an arm. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I like that move. There's a few, Tyon could be good there in Chicago, but the wins won't be there. Trevor Rogers still working his way back from that injury. I'm not sure how healthy he is. Do like Eric Lauer. Eric Lauer is somebody that's just very, very you pretty much know what you're going to get with him. And he's the only guy there that's really catching my eye unless we go Civ. But I have Eric Lauer ranked a lot higher.
I love Lauer. Lauer is probably the pick.
Yeah, I think that's the move.
I just was looking to see, I do like Braxton, but he's not somebody I'm picking now. There's also Mike Soroka. So
yeah, I'd still say Lauer. I think Lauer.
No, it is Lauer. It's just going to those are the names. I'm not Steely. Do love him though.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, but Eric Lauer it is.
Lauer last year was at 3.69 ERA, 1.22 WHIP as our number 7 starting pitcher. That's pretty solid. Oh, and there goes Sir Anthony. Damn, good pick.
Yeah, Jordan Walker too. It's so weird.
Yeah, I don't know how their algorithm's working that all these young guys are going that high.
Yeah. So then it's Jorge Mateo, John Birdie,
Joey Bart.
Joey Bart. I'm out of it, man.
We're still there. Wow.
Yeah.
That's the best pick of the draft so far. Jonathan India in the 21st round. Great pick.
It is a great pick. Then you got Gary Sanchez,
Tristan Casas.
That's really early. Seth Brown, Gene Segura, Jordan Walker. We don't even know if he's going to break camp. Bader, Morale, Grisham. No, not Grisham. Grichuk. And then
also a great pick.
Yeah, and then Dominguez. So here's where we're at now. We got four picks left. I think we go and grab another arm. This is where Dom and I are also crazy, pitcher heavy teams at the end of the draft, where we have 3 of our 4 bench players, 4 of our 5 to 6 bench spots are pitchers.
Yeah, I will say this though too, Matt. The closer situation gets pretty bad, and I usually like to have at least 3 on my team. And if you guys don't know about this guy, he's going to close for Detroit. That's Alex Lange. The guy is actually has great stuff, man. If you pull him up there, I'll read off his numbers real quick. Last year, Lange, 63 innings, 82 Ks, 3.98 ERA, 1.26 WHIP. But he has great stuff, and he's fairly young, I believe. I just think that he's going to wind up with that closer's role in Detroit. And at this point in your draft, now what are we in, the 23rd round or 22nd round? And just to get a guy that is pretty much going to have the closer's job at this point, I think he's a pretty solid pick. We could wait on him, though, and Matt, we could grab another starting pitcher if you want to take that route.
I guarantee we'll be able to get him with the last pick because
I just wanted to point out Alex Lange for anybody who doesn't know about him.
Lange, that's a nice name you threw out there. But I think we get a starter. That's just where I'm at.
Let's dip back into the starting pitcher department here and let's see who is left, and I will consult with my rankings.
Yeah, same here. So
if Braxton Garrett is there, I do have Braxton Garrett fairly high. I have Braxton Garrett as
my 2 favorites right here. Mike Soroka, Braxton Garrett.
The thing is Soroka ready for, is he?
I believe so.
Get that nod in the rotation. Let's pull up the Braves roster resource.
Well, let's see. Ian Anderson is also there, and he's going to take Ian Anderson's spot because Ian
Anderson got sent down to the minors last year. I don't even think he's in the cards right now.
That's what I'm saying. So I think that they need that pitcher. That was part of their struggles.
Yeah. Right now, it looks like the rotation looks something like Fried, Strider, Wright, Morton, and Soroka is the number 5 as of right now. So that is but once again, Soroka hasn't seen major league action in about, I think, 3 years almost at this point. So he might have an adjustment period coming back. As to where Braxton Garrett finished the year very, very strong last year for Miami. There's a lot of other guys that, I do like too, but Matt's a big Braxton Garrett guy, so I think we throw him in the mix.
Yeah, the guy throws gas and he strikes at everybody under the sun. You can't really hate him. He's going
Alex Lange goes with the next pick. It's all right though. It's all right. That's the game that you play when you do this. That's the game you play.
Alex Lange, they must have hurt us. Cheaters.
Yeah, they hurt us. Oh, and New Bar goes too. Oh Lord, that's a shot in the chest.
Yeah. So then it's Gallegos, another great pick. Michael
Well,
is
he's not
terrible.
closing though. Gallegos isn't closing for them. So
Oh, he's not.
No, it's Ryan Helsley.
That's right. That's right. Grandal, Riley Green, another pick I probably would have looked at. Gregory Soto, Morano, that's a nice one because he's actually has some upside as a prospect catcher. Laureano, Benintendi, and we're
both
up.
Good picks there. Both.
Yeah, I like those.
As we're wrapping up here, I mean,
3 picks.
With the closer department, I don't even know who's.
I don't think there's anybody left.
Oh, and you know what? JD Martinez is actually a great pick. Dylan Floro is a good pick too, but I don't know if he winds up with the nod there. So I would actually go Floro or JD Martinez at this point. And I think JD Martinez might be the safer bet. He's going to help you in batting average. The bombs, maybe he gets 20-plus bombs, and the runs and RBIs should be pretty good for JD.
All right. So here's the deal. I think we go one more pitcher and then Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah, that's fair. And Jock Peterson was there. That's a great pick.
That was a nice miss, but I'd rather have
Floro goes, so we can't even grab us a Floro. Nobody else is.
I mean, there really is nobody. I mean, Puck possibly, but I mean, again, he's Miami. He's the one that could probably take it from Floro.
I do like Jimmy Herger too. He did finish the year last year as the Angels closer, but he's kind of just middling at this point. Oh, Tyler Malley's still there. It's an Andrew. Andrew Heaney went over to Texas, but don't like him as much.
Trevor Rogers is still here too for the bounce back.
Yeah, I think I don't know if he's healthy yet though. He's been training with the lat, so that I would like to see how he's doing. For what's up with Malley there? I didn't even know we could scroll over the injuries like that, and it tells you. What's up with Tyler Malley at 66?
Oh, right there.
What are they saying on Malley? Because Malley is great. Malley, great upside.
Shoulder. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, I might even say Andrew Heaney here. Andrew Heaney had a great monster year last year when he was healthy with Los Angeles. It was a 2.88 ERA, 103 strikeouts in 68 innings with a 108 WHIP. I think that's great value.
All right, let's do it.
I have Heaney ranked. Actually, I probably have him ranked a little higher than some of the other guys. Maybe not. Where do I have Andrew Heaney actually at 57. That's got to come down, but I probably would have him down. Yeah, I'd probably have him somewhere in the 70s. I do need to adjust that ranking here.
My problem with Heaney is he's just an older man. I have him at 58.
He's getting okay, so there we go.
I'm gonna have him come down as well, though. I don't think I'm
we're probably gonna have to adjust that. But I think here we take your boy Matt if you wanna.
Well, let's read off who went for the final picks of the draft. Here we got JD, Joan Heim, Gurriel. Oh, yeah, that's even I'm terrible. Trey Mancini, Hernandez, Brendan Rodgers, Dylan Floro, Eric Haas, Will Myers, Mark Melanson, Tyler McGill, Hudson, Jock Peterson, Heaney. Oh, we didn't even read all. Wow, I'm sorry, guys.
We're good.
Whitlock, Sonny Gray, Profar, Conforto, Estevez. Brian De La Cruz. I got upset for a second.
That's a good pick, though, too. That's a good pick.
Gio Urshela, Montanaro, Josh Jung. That's a decent pick. Jesse Winker. That's an upside play. I'm not really a fan this year. And let's do it. We're going to go Ellie.
Yeah.
I think, personally, here's my thing. I do
think
a
lot of upside.
I do think he makes the roster. And then on top of that, you know what? That upside is going to be average. And he has third base outfield eligibility as well.
Apparently, Draft Wizard didn't like our team.
Well, Draft Wizard, we don't like you.
Draft Wizard, we're big fans. We appreciate that you guys having the software out there for us to do what we're doing right now.
Right. I mean, our team is good. They just don't like our catcher. That's
really
where
do they have us? Let's see. I think we could pull up projections here, and let's just before we head off, let's see where they have us to finish. Oh wait, if you go back, you might be able to check it out.
It's gone.
Oh, that might be it.
Yep. Well, guys, with that being said, I'm going to take this off the screen. And with that being said, guys, thank you for hanging in to the end here at an hour and 18 minutes. And, I hope you enjoyed the draft. Dom, want to take it away?
Yeah, guys, as we're wrapping things up here, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, rate, and review. Check out our website. Matt and I's rankings are there. There's a lot of information about us. You could find all of our episodes on the website. Thank you for making us your first listen each and every day. We will be back tomorrow with a brand new episode. We are going to be talking about guys to watch out for this upcoming spring training. And with that being said, just we got to make our boy Lindsey Crosby, make him your second listen each and every day after you listen to us. Encyclopedia of knowledge with the prospects. We had him on our top 1 through 10 prospect episode, so be sure to go check that episode out. And guys, until tomorrow.
Peace.